Tomi Lahren's back and wants you to feel bad for her. Because it turns out, she's a whiny, liberal snowflake. Well, maybe not liberal, but she's a whiny snowflake.
Give me a thank you. Give me a thank you for feminists for getting your right to vote. Otherwise, stop voting and go make me a ham sandwich.
The realization that the people who get that rise out of, attacking others, putting other people down, those are miserable people, right? They're not happy people. And so this is how they get joy in their life. And I feel like if you see memes like that, or if you see people getting attacked, or if you will sit back and have no emotion when you see unarmed individuals getting shot and killed, well then, look, you're a sociopath, right? And so I feel bad for you more than anything, right? And so if you want to attack me for being overly emotional or for passionately, defending those who are defenseless, then go ahead, you can attack me all you want. But am I saying that I'm better than you? I guess I'm going a little further than you are. Yeah, I'm fucking better than you, okay? Much better than you. You are garbage, okay? If you get a rise out of attacking the powerless, you're garbage. And you can call me a social justice warrior. You can call me whatever the fuck you want. At this point, I don't give a shit, okay? That's it. That's who.
Now look, I look at most of the stuff you guys send me on my Instagram or on my Facebook, and I know that the weekly Tomi updates, for a lot of you, actually made Tomi Lahren palatable for once, because it was so easy to deconstruct her arguments. And I'll admit, taking apart her insanely bottom-of-the-barrel right-wing arguments are easy, and I enjoy them myself.
I actually find that statement quite ironic, to be honest, because TYT has been known in the past, and even now, to only report on one side of the things, or it's incredibly biased. And for TYT to say that Tomi Lahren is biased is projection at its finest.
So when I saw this ABC News video, I was excited, because Tomi Lahren is going full-blown snowflake, like coming out and admitting it, and wants us to feel bad for her. She's being silenced, you guys.
Come on. You know who was accused in court papers of being a rapist? Donald J. Trump. By Donald Trump, Roger Stone. He's in court papers. Oh, yeah? You're a sick dude, Roger Stone. I want to run off with you right now.
You assault me all the time. You never give me a chance to respond.
I should give you a job.
We'll share Mike.
You're a sick man, Roger Stone.
You're a liar.
Roger, no, you're the world's biggest liar. Didn't you admit that you lied? Didn't you already admit that you're a piece of crap?
No, Elliot Spitzer, he's a great guy.
Alex, this ain't my fucking show.
Take it.
It's certainly ain't your fucking show. Are you afraid to debate him? No, you're afraid of the rape allegation. Bring it back up. Hey, bring it back up right now.
Bullshit.
All right, Roger, run away. Roger, don't go. He wants to debate you right now. I'm not going to debate this guy. You're a hatchet man. I don't know what anyone in the media takes you seriously. All you do is lie. You're known as the biggest liar in media. You're the biggest liar in media.
You're a lie, loser. There's nobody watching this show, dude.
Guys, can you get out of my set, please?
Don't get too mad. We gotta
go.
All right, well, first of all, he's actually mad. He's actually really upset.
Sorry, can you get out?
Hey, don't touch my camera.
You want fucking attention. Get off the stage, you fat fuck. Get off. Get off. Yeah, you do.
Don't touch my camera.
Get the fuck off the stage.
The Saudi Arabians aren't funny enough. You don't see
Shut the fuck up, bitch.
First of all, let me explain something.
No, Jake, relax.
Hold on. We're against Saudi Arabia, you dumbass! We talk about that all the time! We talk about that all the time! You don't know shit! What, you think the lizard people are in charge? No. Is that what you think?
Hey, you're pissed. We're kicking your ass.
Is that what you think?
You're the anti-liberal and you're pissed.
Bullshit!
We're being nice here.
You know what I care about? I care about the American people.
Good. You're the one flipping out. Anybody hurt? I'm being nice. I'm not lying.
Everybody get the fuck off my stage! Get the fuck off my stage!
Unbelievable. You're the one that dragged it. Hey, Alex, security's here. I got it.
All right, go.
That is the craziest shit I've ever seen. They just
Shut the fuck up, you loser.
All right, go. He attacked me. There's space, guys. There's space.
This is not about politics. This is about someone who had an opposing viewpoint that has been silenced and sidelined and thrown away.
Wow, this is just deliciously ironic. Tomi, You've built an entire platform, now owned by The Blaze, trying to silence people with opposing viewpoints. You literally got paid to do just that. And when you took an opposing viewpoint yourself, the same company that paid you to try and silence the opposition silenced you. And you're surprised about this? Why? You know who won't silence you though, Tommy? Myself and the good people here at the Young Turks. Hit me up on my DMs or on Twitter, even though essentially your entire career is built around silencing the opposition. Here, let's look at some hot
Get off the stage, you fat fuck!
Give me a thank you. Give me a thank you for feminists for getting your right to vote. Otherwise, stop voting and go make me a ham sandwich.
Pot, meat, kettle. This is projection at its finest, and we have seen that TYT are the ones that are snowflakes, and I'm going to continue showing this in this video right now because they are the snowflakes right here, and trying to say that others are the so-called snowflakes. They just want to move all attention away from themselves when they're the ones doing all of this shady stuff that they're doing right now. And at the moment they're trying to push it onwards to Tommy Lahren. And I find this quite hilarious, to be honest.
It's this country, the country that you have so much disdain for, that allows you the right to speak your mind. I'm getting pretty sick and tired of the failing mainstream media. It protects your right to be a whiny, indulgent, attention-seeking crybaby.
Yeah, and now you're being a whiny, indulgent, attention-seeking crybaby because the Blaze won't let you have a show. But wait, please clear something up for us, Tommy. Are you fired or are you suspended? Like, what's the deal?
I don't have a dressing room. I'm terminated. I'm fired.
Are they still paying you?
Yeah, they're still paying me.
This is hilarious. You know that means you're not fired, right, Tommy? Even your lawsuit mentions this.
Expressing her First Amendment rights and her personal opinions about a woman's right to choose is not grounds for termination.
Which is exactly why the Blaze is keeping you in contract, just so you won't be able to go to another show before September. But I truly don't understand what the problem is. It seems like you got a pretty amazing opportunity to better yourself.
I'm still an idiot now, right? About 4 years old, my dance instructor told me that I was overweight. And as a 4? Yes, and that stayed with me for the rest of my life. Now, I don't fit the results of the study. I'm not an unhealthy body weight. At least I don't think I am. But you know, it does scar you, and you have issues with food and eating for the rest of your life. Saint Nick fat shamed him while he was sitting on his lap. Yeah, don't call them fat. Attention! Get off the stage, you fat Get off the yeah, you do. I'll touch my camera.
The Saudi Arabians are
I have no respect for women who voted for Trump, okay?
Yeah, me too.
I think so poorly of them, and the reason why is because, look, I don't think that you're a single issue voter. I just think you're dumb, okay? I think you're fucking dumb. When you vote for someone who openly treats women like second-class citizens, who talks about them as if they're nothing more than a piece of meat, who has been accused of sexually assaulting them, who has been caught on tape talking about groping them and grabbing them by the pussy without consent, yeah, you're an idiot. You're an idiot, yes. Okay? You are voting against your best interests. I'm losing my mind tonight because of how stupid the majority of the country is.
Yeah.
I have a hard time not disliking friends of mine who support Hillary. And
wow.
I know that that's not a nice thing to say, and I really don't care. I understand if they might be ignorant on some policy ideas, but I have friends that I have sat down with and had very detailed conversations. Look, I'm not here for a fucking hobby, okay? This is what I do for my career, okay? Mm-hmm. This is what I live for. So it's not like I'm reading some headlines and I'm like, hey, I want to engage in some political discourse. No. So I sit down and I explain to them in so many different ways. I had conversations about Hillary Clinton's support of private prisons, Hillary Clinton's support of for-profit colleges, Hillary's support of ridiculous foreign policy that has only perpetuated more war, detailed explanations for why she is not a good progressive candidate. Yeah. And they reject that evidence. And so how is it possible for me to respect them after that?
So the fact that we know the policies better just because of the nature of our job, they don't give us any credit for that. Like, so a mechanic would get credit for knowing cars better, right?
A doctor would get credit for knowing how to operate on a fucking heart, right? So how insulting would it be if I walked into a surgeon a surgeon performing open heart surgery, and I said, you know what? I think that artery needs some work.
Okay, we're done.
Okay.
We're done.
All right, well.
We're done. Do you have any more questions? Because if you're going to put me down, we're done.
I'm not going to put you down.
No, I don't.
All right, so.
Now, you want to ask me about my educational background?
No, I don't.
Because I have a BA from Brandeis University and an MBA from Cornell in Ithaca, New York.
That's great. There's a lot of educated people that are not so intelligent on politics.
Yes.
So not so intelligent on politics.
Yes.
So not so intelligent on politics.
Yes.
So the question.
Well, I think I'm very intelligent.
Well.
Okay.
Interesting to see him sitting there with his wife, with Dan Snyder, who of course is getting a lot of criticism for refusing to change the name of the team. So that second part is actually even more insulting, right? It's like, we're still going to refer to our team as the Redskins.
There's a reason why I'm using the clips of TYT from the past to make my point that TYT should clean up their own backyard before they start criticizing anyone else, because I look at myself as a liberal, and looking at the political situation at the moment, I criticize my own backyard more than I do the other side, because if I'm gonna start the other side and criticize the other side, I have to clean up my own backyard first and check what's terrible coming from my own side. So that's why I'm using their own words against them and show that they don't practice what they preach.
My suggestion for you, for all the personal time you have now, is just to focus on reading a book for once. I recommend anything by Noam Chomsky. Or you could, maybe involve yourself in political activism. Maybe something for Planned Parenthood, since Trump just gave states the right to defund
this is
Planned Parenthood.
the big difference between you and I. I look at the actual facts. Yes, they can defund Planned Parenthood, but that doesn't mean the states will. Trump just gave the states the opportunity and the authority to decide for themselves instead of the government doing it for them. You have to put a little nuance to this and not just look at it black and white.
Baby killers, baby killers.
But my favorite part of this video has to be the gotcha moment when Tommy's faced with a twisted comparison she made, likening Black Lives Matter to the KKK in her controversial tweet.
Takes a disturbing turn. This from Minnesota. Watch.
Bacon, fry like bacon, pigs in a blanket, fry like bacon, pigs in a blanket, fry like bacon, pigs in a blanket, fry like bacon, pigs in
This group marching at the state fair, chanting horrific things. Pigs in a blanket, fry 'em like bacon, they're saying. Casey Stiegel's live in Houston where
And for a second, Tommy has the opportunity to say, hey, you know what? I messed up. It was stupid, and I'm sorry. But instead, she uses that moment as an opportunity to desperately ask for a new show on ABC.
You know, Byron, I'd love to have a show that I can discuss all these things with you, but I'm not going to get into those ones right now.
I'm going to call you Hassan, if that's all right with you. And this clip you just showed doesn't show anything what you are claiming it to be. It would have been actually better if you didn't show that clip, because it just shows that you're lying. All she said there, she would have loved to have a conversation. I may not agree with everything Tommy is saying and what she stands for, but come on. Can you at least be honest and report the truth for once in this whole goddamn clip?
God, you were so close to taking just yet another step towards being a decent human. I mean, you still have like a million steps to go, but you would have been just marginally closer, you know what I mean? See, the problem is, Tommy, you built a platform yelling out horrible things about concepts you barely understand, appealing to the antiquated sensibilities of your 4 million Facebook fans. You spent your shortly lived tenure at the Blaze either spewing hateful racist shit or telling people that fought for something you didn't agree with
for
to
me
shut
is
the
when
hell
he
up.
translates his own speech. He's like, we got to bind the wounds of democracy. We got to come together. It's like, did you, just so you didn't understand? Anyways, let's have some students chime in. You want to give us your feelings on the election. Have a stand up. What's your name? Where are you from?
Vaughn, Los Angeles.
Yeah, let's hear it for Vaughn from Los Angeles. You go to CSUN?
Yeah.
CSUN student, what year?
Second.
Second year, a sophomore. A wise fool, aren't we all?
He's texting in the middle of the interview. It's great.
I have my question.
Snapping.
Oh, so you have a question?
Yeah.
All right. My question for you is more, how do you feel about all the stuff that Trump said during the election, during the running for the election? And are you afraid of it? How do you feel about all the stuff that he said, and do you believe it?
I actually want to touch upon. Oh, could I?
No,
he wants the floor.
I actually want to touch upon like the kind of immigration and that kind of sentiment on it.
Gotcha.
So, the rise in anti-immigrant sentiment, that's pretty much it's raised fear amongst our communities and things like that. It brings back memories and history. So, of other leaders, of other groups, people that have rose to power and have done much worse, such as the Young Turks. So, which is
very,
awesome.
very interesting. I'm sure it would be very entertaining, but we do
let's
focus on the election.
I actually do want to quickly respond to that because I think it's an interesting concern.
Have a seat. Have a seat.
No,
so
it's
he
okay.
brought up a question. And
So
Anna's
we
gonna answer.
worked really hard on this episode and Mora Sosterra.
All right.
Okay, so we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll have more questions from the audience, from actual students, after we come back from this.
Being filtered or censored, and I just hope that we continue this dialogue and understand each other's positions. That's it.
And another thing,
Mom,
stop it on live. Please get the hell out of here.
Mom.
Okay.
What happened in 1952? Genocide? You consider that genocide, yes or no? Yes or no?
Of course I can.
And you went for the Young Turks.
just called it that multiple
For the Young Turks.
Okay,
They
so
committed
she
1.5
addressed
million
your
people died.
concerns. If you're not going to listen to anything that she said and just keep repeating the same thing, she called it a genocide. She said she believes it and said that the show has nothing to do with it.
Genocide?
You
You
just
think I
did
denied
it
genocide?
yourself.
I don't deny the genocide. I don't deny it. I don't deny it.
The Democratic Party definitely needs to make some changes, especially considering the reaction of the electorate during this presidential.
Yeah, I think it's quite ironic for actually a Turk to say that and actually be part of a network who call themselves after someone who committed genocide against the Armenians. So, yeah, there's not a lot of introspect amongst the people at TYT, and especially
it's real cute when you're now
with
trying
you,
to win
Hassan.
favors and gain sympathy, and yet in the same breath can't even apologize for an absolutely disgusting comparison you made about a group promoting basic human rights to one that strives to take human lives. But I guess what's really funny to me is that there's a massive difference here that you fail to grasp. And the difference is that all of those people you shamelessly screamed at were fighting for their rights and the rights of others. Sometimes even yours. On the other hand, you're just bent out of shape that the Blaze won't let you have your show while they're still paying you.
So yeah, this video was a little longer than I actually expected it to be. But I just wanted to hammer in the point that TYT are full of projection and they use false equivalences, they lie, they are hypocrites. And this clip alone can show, or this video in itself can show how big of hypocrites they are and how much they lie. And they should clean their own act and actually tell the truth before they actually go around using pejoratives on others, like Tommy Laren, calling her a snowflake. And I hate that when you're not way worse yourself, and you're pointing fingers at others and not taking responsibility and act like an adult or have any sort of ethical compass, because you're a journalist, you're supposed to be ethical. But with TYT, it seems to be more feels than reals. So, yeah. Anyways, that's pretty much all I have to say about TYT and this Sun guy. If you I want to hear what you guys have to say about this. Leave a comment. I like to engage with people about the videos I make and feedback, anything I can do better. So yeah, thank you guys for watching, and see you guys next time. Bye.